I can't believe these songs have already turned 40. Back in 1985, they were a true revolution. And 4 decades later, they still sound as powerful as they did on day one. Today, we're traveling back in time to relive 10 legendary songs from 1985 that have already crossed the 40-year mark. Will you remember them all? Let's begin. Number 10. Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. Mark Knopfler was standing in an appliance store, waiting to be helped, when he heard the people carrying boxes in front of a wall of televisions tuned to MTV complaining. Among other things, they were saying that the guys on MTV got paid without working hard like they did. The singer asked for a piece of paper and a pencil, and right there he wrote the lyrics, including some of the lines from those anonymous workers. And that is how Money for Nothing was born.
You play the guitar on the MTV.
The song reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1985 and stayed there for 3 consecutive weeks. Money for Nothing became a timeless hit, and Dire Straits turned into global stars almost overnight. This hit, born from a cascade of coincidences and built around a biting irony about the American dream, has already turned 40, yet it still feels more relevant than ever.
No, that ain't working. That's the way you do it.
Mark Knopfler's unmistakable guitar and that funky groove still invite us to move, while the lyrics shake us with a reflection disguised as humor. Number 9. Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams.
I got my first real 6-string.
Released on June 17, 1985, and carrying a perfect blend of melancholy and optimism, this Bryan Adams song still smells like endless summer and teenage years, even 4 decades later. Co-written with Jim Valance, the song went through several versions. It was originally called Best Days of My Life, and the line Summer of '69 appeared only once in the lyrics. For Valance, that moment before the song's massive success, the one that pushed Reckless to number 1, was the high point of his collaborative career. "We had nothing to prove and even less to lose," he told the press. Bob Clearmountain's timeless, polished production turned the nostalgia and the rays of sunlight slipping through the lyrics into a worldwide hit that climbed all the way to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. Bryan Adams managed to capture summer inside a hit that transcends decades and generations, and it will keep smelling like sun and heat for at least several more decades to come. Number 8. Part-Time Lover by Stevie Wonder. Released on August 24, 1985, it became Stevie Wonder's last number 1 to date, arriving 22 years after his first major hit. It was proof of his staying power and of the enormous mark he left on the history of rock, pop, and funk around the world. Part-Time Lover tells a timeless story of crossed infidelities, wrapped in modern production, irresistible backing vocals, and Stevie's unmistakable voice. Its impact was so huge that it became the first song to top every major Billboard chart at the same time. And the best part is that its effect has not changed. All it takes is the first 30 seconds to feel the same urge to dance today that people felt 4 decades ago. It is a reminder of that 1985, when pop, rock, and funk were at their peak. If these songs have already taken you 4 decades back, hit like and subscribe so we can keep reliving the greatest music in our history together. Let's keep going. Number 7. Say You, Say Me by Lionel Richie.
Say you, say
Lionel Richie released this song in late October 1985. He wrote it for a specific request. Director Taylor Hackford needed a signature single for his film White Nights. Lionel did not know it, but his inability to write a song with that title would lead to one that remains an ode to love, bringing couples together and soundtracking anniversaries to this day.
Say it together.
Yes, 4 decades later, Lionel Richie's Say You, Say Me, wherever it plays, is still an invitation to fall in love. Its elegant instrumentation, that unexpected shift into a danceable rhythm near the end, and a production as clean as it is powerful, turned it into a timeless piece, capable of crossing generations. Lionel Richie did not only write a Billboard Hot 100 #1 that stayed there for 4 weeks. He also created a single that earned him an Oscar and a Golden Globe. And so, Lionel Richie ended up giving the world one of the most memorable love songs in history. It is a reminder of how the music of the 80s did not merely define an era, but still beats in our hearts today, as the soundtrack to some of life's most important moments. Number 6. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Released on March 22, 1985, and driven by a drum rhythm as original as it was relentless, this song became Tears for Fears' first major hit. The band had been recording their single Shout for months at the Wool Hall Studios in Somerset, England, polishing every second in the hope of turning it into a hit. In the middle of that creative whirlwind, guitarist Roland Orzabal sat down, picked up his acoustic guitar, and played 2 simple chords. What followed was something they never could have imagined. They wrote Everybody Wants to Rule the World in that very moment and recorded it that same day. The process flowed so effortlessly that no one could believe their future Billboard #1 had emerged in such a spontaneous and simple way. The lyrics perfectly capture the struggle for power and the world's geopolitical tensions, while presenting love as both refuge and path forward. The songwriting and polished production turned this wonderful studio accident into an anthem that sounds as current today as it did 4 decades ago, reminding us that love is always stronger. Number 5. Every Time You Go Away by Paul Young. Paul Young released Every Time You Go Away in February 1985. It is a song with grand production, a huge chorus, and all the classic elements of the era. Its recording featured a total of 11 musicians. But although it was the song that took him to the top, this was neither the first nor the only version of this timeless track. The song had first been recorded in 1980 by its writers, Daryl Hall and John Oates, who included it on their album Voices. By reinterpreting it, Young gave it a new life. He replaced the ghostly delicacy of the original with instrumentation that matched the sound of the mid-80s, enveloping synthesizers, a solid rhythm section, and an arrangement that heightened the drama of the lyrics. The result was immediate. The song climbed straight to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Daryl Hall himself said he loved the version, and that although it had always been a gospel song to him, he was surprised it could become a commercial hit. The chorus of Every Time You Go Away has built bridges, accompanied loves and farewells, served as shelter during painful breakups, and stood as witness to unforgettable reconciliations. 4 decades later, it remains the sweetest and most melancholy way to say, "See you later," instead of "goodbye." A song that reminds us music can transform absence into an eternal memory. Number 4. The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. Released on June 17, 1985, this single almost did not exist, yet it ended up becoming an anthem for an entire generation. Huey Lewis was contacted by none other than Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg, and Bob Gale, who were looking for a song for their new film, Back to the Future. At first, Huey refused. He had never written music for film, and besides, the title Back to the Future seemed impossible to turn into lyrics. That was when Zemeckis picked up the phone and convinced him with a simple but brilliant idea. It doesn't have to be about the movie, it can be about anything you want. With that creative freedom, Huey got to work, and The Power of Love was born. By the time the song was ready, the film was already in post-production, and there was only one available spot left. The opening scene in which Marty McFly rides his skateboard across town on his way to school. The result was explosive. It not only reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, but became forever engraved in the collective memory as the song that gave Back to the Future its rhythm and energy. Huey's rough, powerful voice, wrapped in irresistible melodic hooks and instrumentation that sounded modern for its time, shines especially in a chorus that still feels ahead of its time today.
That's the power of love.
Almost 4 decades later, the power of love remains intact, as if it had just stepped out of the DeLorean. It is proof that great music, when it comes from the heart, always finds a way to transcend time. Number 3. Your Love by The Outfield.
I just want to use your love tonight.
Recorded at AIR Studios in London in 1985 and released as part of the band's debut album Play Deep. That same year, this song would take a little while to receive the attention it deserved. The band did not release it as a single until 1986, and its catchy guitar, bass line, and Tony Lewis's incomparable voice pushed it all the way to number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100.
You know I'd do anything for you.
The band, formed only 2 years earlier, was experiencing a truly meteoric rise to the top. Although their popularity would begin to fade into the 90s, even today, 4 decades later, Tony Lewis's unforgettable voice and John Spinks's unmistakably 80s guitar sound still feel fresh, as if time had never passed.
Wanna use your love tonight.
The Outfield no longer exists as a band, but Your Love still beats like a portrait of eternal youth. Its lyrics speak to that urgency to live in the present, to hold on to the fleeting, with the line, "I just want to use your love tonight." And although that night inevitably comes to an end, the song reminds us that those moments remain engraved forever. Number 2, Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush.
It doesn't hurt me,
Released on August 5, 1985, Running Up That Hill is proof that even in a decade dominated by monumental productions polished to the extreme, a song with a soul of its own can always find its way through. Written and performed by Kate Bush, it was the first song she composed for her 5th album, Hounds of Love. She wrote it in a single night, and by the next day she had already recorded a demo, a flash of inspiration that would mark her career forever. The lyrics present an idea as daring as it is moving. Making a deal with God to trade places with the person you love and understand their pain. It was a risky proposition for 80s radio, but it ended up winning over the public. Against every prediction from the record company, the track, built almost entirely on synthesizers and electronic drums, reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1985.
There is thunder in our heart.
Decades later, the song would be reborn thanks to its inclusion in the series Stranger Things, where it found a new generation of listeners who turned it into a global phenomenon all over again. In 2023, it passed 1 billion streams on Spotify, cementing its place as one of the greatest rediscovered classics of recent times. Kate Bush did not only write a hit, she created an emotional bridge that transcends generations. Running Up That Hill remains a reminder that the most authentic music is not measured by trends or decades, but by its ability to move us. And perhaps its true magic lies in the fact that every time someone hears it for the first time, it revives the same feeling it had in 1985. That mix of mystery, emotion, and the desire to understand someone else. Now tell me, where were you when you first heard these musical gems? Write it in the comments. We read every one. Number 1. Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds.
Won't you come see about me?
Released on February 20th, 1985, as part of the soundtrack to The Breakfast Club, one of the most iconic and highest-grossing films of the decade, this song catapulted Simple Minds to worldwide recognition. The story began when director John Hughes was looking for the perfect theme for his film. First, he thought of Brian Ferry from Roxy Music, but when Ferry turned it down, the assignment reached the Scottish band.
Don't you?
At first, Simple Minds did not want to accept it either. They had a habit of recording only their own compositions. However, after watching the film and being persuaded by songwriters Keith Forsey and Steve Schiff, they agreed. The result was surprising. They recorded the song in just 1 day at a London studio. The impact was immediate. Don't You Forget About Me not only reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, it became a true 80s anthem. It went from being part of a soundtrack to playing everywhere, on radios, on Walkmans, at parties, and in the memory of an entire generation. One curious detail is that the famous la 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 at the end was improvised as filler, with the idea that final lyrics would be written later. Those lyrics never came, and what began as a creative accident ended up becoming one of the most memorable endings in pop music. Almost 4 decades later, every time this song plays, it reignites the spark of the 80s. It is proof that sometimes the beauty of music does not need perfect plans. All it takes is a moment of inspiration to create something that remains engraved in the heart forever. These gems from 1985 show us that time only makes great music even greater. And the most incredible thing is that there are even older songs turning half a century old and still sounding just as powerful. Click on the next video and join me as we discover 10 legendary songs turning 50. See you there, my fellow rocker.